Hello everybody. So today we're going to do a tutorial on how to use audio in Unity. So I set up a demo for you with a couple of different examples, and then we'll go through the steps and create it ourselves. So here in our scene we have our old character Sophie from our previous tutorials, and then we have a new character here called Jody also from Mixamo, facing Sophie. Now, I want to demonstrate firstly just ambient background noise audio. So you're going to hear some birds singing. So hopefully it's going to come through my speakers into the mic and you'll see. So let's press play. So you can see here that you can hear these bird sounds. And that's just on a loop playing over and over again here under bird audio source. And we'll come back to that. And then the other sound that I'm going to play is Jody speaking, which I've pre-recorded, and we'll go through that. So I'm going to press the space bar, and then you'll hear my really bad acting pretending to be Jody. Okay, that didn't work at all. Okay, well done. Okay, here we go again. I'll press space bar. Hello, I'm Jody and I'm really angry. And I'll press space bar again. Hello, I'm Jody and I'm really angry. Okay, so let's stop this. So that's just one example of using some kind of key press to get a particular kind of audio, but you can have all sorts of different keys to create different sounds. So let's go ahead and and create some of these ourselves. So let me just get situated over here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create a new project. So we can do this together. So let's call this, you can call it audio, I'll call it audio tutorial. Okay. So it's just taking a moment to open up. Now, okay, here we go. All right. Let me just do some, okay. So here is our regular empty scene. So the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and import my regular default character that we've been using. You can use your own regular default character. So I'm going to go ahead and put Sophie into my assets folder. So here she is. And then I'm going to go ahead and put her into my scene. And I'm going to do a reset to get her reset. And I'm going to click on her here in assets, go to materials. So you know the drill by now. You create a new folder, materials. And we're going to extract her textures. Say fix now. Good. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see her. And I'm just going to extract her materials. Sometimes it can tweak it a little bit, but usually not if it's from Mixamo. Okay, nice. So now I want to go ahead and let me show you my Mixamo. I'm going to go ahead and use a character called Jody here. So just like before, first I'm going to download Jody as a T-pose. which I've already done. So you go download FBX for Unity T-pose, and then you download the T-pose, and then I'm going to go and I actually found this angry standing by searching standing under the animations tab, and there was this angry one. So I just picked that because I just wanted to use something with that was emoting, you know, something in the scene. So I picked angry, and then I went ahead and downloaded that FBX for Unity without skin, and then you go ahead and download that. So I already have those two. You can pick, you know, something of your own choice. So I'm going to go to my Unity characters folder. So I'm going to get Jody here, regular Jody with a T-pose, first of all. So I'm going to put Jody in the scene, and I'm going to reset her so she's, you know, the same sort of scale. And let's see, I'm going to move, so you can see here, here's our Z axis. I want to move her forward and turn around so she's facing Sophie. So I'm going to move her forward 2 units, and then I'm going to rotate her 180 degrees so she's facing. And then let's also sort out her materials. So we go extract. I'm actually going to call this one, I'm going to call materials Jody. Extract her textures. Fix now. Good. And then the other thing that I'm going to do before moving forward is I'm going to go ahead and set up my camera scene so that we're seeing things from Sophie's point of view. So just like before, so I'm going to get my main camera and I'm going to put it as a child of Sophie. And once we've done that, just like before, we have to reset the camera's position. And then we're going to bring it up to roughly, you know, the position of her head. And I'm going to rotate it down here around the X axis so she's looking at Jody. Good. Let's do a save. All right. Now I want to add that angry stomping thing that Jody is doing. So I'm going to go to Jody at angry, pop that into my assets folder here. I'm going to go to window, and you know how to do this now. Animation, animator. I'm going to go back here to assets, right click, create. We're at animator controller. I'm going to say Jody anim. And then I'm going to pop Jody angry in there, right click, make transition, and loop that on itself. Hopefully, I think that worked. Let's go back to the scene and have a look. Let's press play. Oh, sorry, missing one step. Very important step, go back to Jody here. I did not put the Jody animation animator controller there. Very important. It's good to see, oh, what happens. There we go. So now she's angry. Let's see if it's going to loop. It's funny. Yeah, it's looping. All right. Okay, good. Okay, stomping her feet. Good, good. All right, so let's stop that there. So that's good so far, but we haven't added any audio. Now, I showed you my terrible acting skills. I'm sure yours are going to be way, way better. Now, it would be really nice. So I'll show you a couple of things, but it would be really nice if as part of your projects and this lab assignment that you could create your own audio. Now, to do this, I use a piece of software called Audacity. So Audacity, like this is my favorite. It's super easy to use. It's free. It's open source. You can download it onto any operating system. It's you know, very, very easy to use and creates really good recordings. and you can really easily edit sound files using Audacity. Now, if you've got a Mac, you may have your own software on your Mac to record and edit sound, in which case you're most welcome to use that. And if you're comfortable with that and you know how to use that, then by all means, please use that. If not, you can go ahead and download Audacity. I would, if you have any problems with your Mac, if you have a Mac, just check, your security and permissions, because sometimes Mac has a little bit of a fit when you try to download software that isn't Apple software. So just check. You may have to release permissions and so forth, but this is a really lovely one. So what I did was I connected my microphone to my machine, and then I pressed the record button. I said that really stupid line, and then I pressed stop. And then you can play it back. You can edit bits of it, like you can go ahead and highlight bits of it and press delete on your keyboard. It's really easy to use. So, you can just take a couple of minutes to play around with it. You can test it and play it back. But you can use whatever software you want. So this is where I recorded that line where I said, hello, I'm Jodie and I'm so angry. And then I went to file and I just simply said export, and you can export as an MP3 or a WAV. Unity is pretty easygoing. It takes a lot of sound files. Just to be on the safe side and for size purposes, you could use an MP3, which is what I use. So I exported it as an MP3. And I have a folder here called Unity Sounds, where I'm just collecting some Unity sounds, and I put Jodie Angry as my MP3 file here. So you can see and have a go. So once you have your sound, let's go back to assets here, and let's right click and create a new folder called audio, and let's go ahead into that. And I'm going to go ahead to my Unity sounds and drag and drop Jodie Angry into there. So you can see here, if I click on it, let me I'll move my mic so you can hear. I'll press play here. Hello, I'm Jodie and I'm really angry. Yeah, there you go. As you can see, okay. All right. So we have our audio here. So let's go to Jodie and click on Jodie here. And we're going to want to go, actually, yes, okay. Before we go to Jodie and add, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to show you, let's go to main camera. I just want to show you here something called audio listener. So the main camera typically is where you have the audio listener. So this is where you listen to audio, and it's basically where you want the sound to be listened from, which is why we're using the main camera, because that's attached to our first person point of view. Now to Sophie, because we're standing in Sophie's point of view and she's looking at Jodie here. Now with Jodie, we want to go ahead and under add component, you want to add an audio source, because Jodie is going to be an audio source. So you can go ahead and type audio source and search for it and add an audio source component. So we want to use this Jodie Angry .mp3, so I can drag and drop that into the audio clip. So remember, this is under Jodie, and she's going to be a audio source, and we're going to use this audio clip Jodie Angry. Then you can see here that there are different options. There's like play on awake, so that will play as soon as you press play. There's loop, where it will loop over and over again. There's things here where you can adjust the volume or the pitch. You also have 3D sound settings. Here you have spatial blend. So if you're in 2D, then it will just come out of each of your speakers the same until you go to 3D, and then it will come, you know, from the direction of where that person or where that audio source will be. Yeah. Now, I haven't added a script to press spacebar or anything like that yet. I just have this simple audio source with a simple audio clip, and it just says, you know, play on awake. So let's just quickly try this and see what happens. We'll just see. Further. I'm Jody, and I'm really angry. Right, so there you go. So that played once as soon as we pressed played, and then it didn't loop. I hope you could hear that. If I looped it, then it would loop over and over again. But maybe, you know, for whatever reason, you don't want to play your audio as soon as you start. So what I'm going to show you is just to create a very, very simple script so we can play some kind of audio with some kind of key press. So I'm going to go here to add component, new script. Actually, let's see, what do we want to call it? So I have to remember what I called it. Play on key press. That's it. Great. So add component, new script, play on key press. All one word, capitalize first, letters, create and add. And then let's go ahead into edit script. And then we're going to go ahead. So just like before, I'm going to provide you with a very simple script. And all you have to do is just copy and paste that in. And I'm going to save that. So you can see here, there's a couple of things that's happening here. So one of the things we're doing is we're doing a public variable audio source, and we're calling that some sound. And then we're just saying, if you press down the space key, then that sound will play. Now, I just want to show you that you don't have to use the space key. So if I said key code dot, and then, for example, I could say A, or I could go through all of these B, C, D, all of these like F1, F2 keys, all these joystick keys. I'm going to keep going down. There's a lot of those. So if we keep going down, you know, the left arrow and all sorts of things. Now, we don't want to mix up our left arrow and all that because we're using that to move around. But I just wanted to show you that you can use different kinds of letters. Here we're going to stick with the space bar just for the purposes of this example. So if it gets pressed down, then we press play. Now, if you want to have a look, so now when you go back to Unity, you should have this public variable available to you now in the inspector called, let's show you over here. Here we go, some sound. And here you want to go and take audio source and put that in there, right? So now let's have a go. We're going to press play, and then I'm going to press the space bar. Oh, and let's also uncheck play on awake as well. Okay. Hello, I'm Jody, and I'm really angry. So I just pressed spacebar then. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Okay, I'll do it again. I'm going to press spacebar again. Hello, I'm Jody, and I'm really angry. Okay. All right, enough of that. I don't want to hear that no more. All right. So let me stop this here. Okay. So that's one audio source with a simple key press. Now, let's maybe you might want to have some constant background sound that you want to have playing all the time. So let's have a look at something like that. So now what I'd like to do before I create that is let's go to, oh yes, let me take you to a website called freesound.org. So this is a Creative Commons sound space. So you can go ahead and download sounds here. And you can look up the licensing if you're interested about Creative Commons. But if you do, you know, you don't just have to create your own sounds. You can also go ahead and download sounds, you know, not ones that are copyrighted, but just sounds that you can use. So I wanted to find some background bird sounds or whatever you might want. And I searched relaxing bird sounds. You can't see it anymore. And then I kind of liked this one, so I pressed play. You can hear that a bit. And so I went ahead and downloaded it. I changed its name just so that I could keep it simple, and I called it Bird Sounds here in my Unity Sounds folder. But I really encourage you to go ahead and have a look and see if you can find, oh, and you will need to create an account, but it's free. You just sign up with free sounds if you want to download. So let's go back to Unity, and I'm going to go ahead and drag bird sounds into my audio folder. So if we go here and press play, hopefully you can hear. So it's playing okay. So now I want to come back here, and I'm going to go to game object, sorry, audio source. So I'm going to create an audio source to create the bird sounds, because I don't have any trees or birds in my scene. I mean, you might do, and then you can create, just like we did with Jody, you can add a component audio source to that if you wish. But here, I don't have anything else in the background, so I'm just going to rename it bird audio source here. So I'm going to go ahead and so you can see it already has an audio source component. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop bird sounds onto that. And here you can see it says play on awake. So I do want it to start from the beginning, and I want it to loop over and over again. So I'm going to check that. I do want to turn the volume down a bit because I want this to be a background sound. So you'll see, you know, if you sometimes have your background sound up too high, you might not be able to hear what your characters are actually saying. So let's go ahead and play this all together. And now I'm going to press space. Hello, I'm Jody, and I'm really angry. Okay, I know this is kind of weird, but you get the idea, I hope. So let's stop that play. Okay, so that was just some very simple 2 ways of doing audio. If you want to, you can create you know, additional audio source components with additional sounds with different key presses. You know, you could make Sophie say something and so forth. So have a go, play around, have some fun with it, create your own lines and your own characters doing their own emotions with far better acting than mine, and you know, create your own background sound and be really curious to see what you come up with. Okay, so enjoy, and thank you very much.